Stars take center stage. And good afternoon. I'm Matt Stewart, joined by Rusty Mansell of 24/7 Sports. And Rusty, we've had 2 one-score games so far today. It's been very entertaining, a lot of big plays. Can we expect the same from these juniors?
I hope I didn't jinx it, but I said earlier today I feel good about these rosters. We did a little more work into it, trying to divide these things up, and I feel pretty good about the product in the junior game you're about to see.
Well, you know, we've highlighted a lot of playmakers in our first 2 games. Let's go up front in the beef. Let's go with Andrew Ruzinski, Webb Davidson, a couple of guys who just wrapped up their junior high school football seasons, getting a lot of looks from major Power 5 programs.
And both guys had a lot of tape put out on them yesterday. Both had a great practice yesterday. And both got offers from Georgia Tech last night. Don't know if it was because of the performance yesterday, but you're going to see 2 6'4", 2 6'5" offensive tackles. Both play left tackle, which is a premium position. So there's going to be a lot of playmakers on both sides of the ball, but this game specifically is going to have a pair of very, very talented offensive tackles in those guys.
And from a selfish standpoint, history being made today in the Stewart family household. On the other side, my mom's side, my cousin Wilson Reagan will be the starting center for the juniors, the American team, wearing the blue, wearing number 56.
It's a family affair today. 2 of my high school teammates will play. Their sons will play for Ken Irvin. Reese Fountain will play quarterback, and Elliot Goggins will play right tackle. Will play with both of their dads. Ken was a teammate of ours, so got a little Pepperell vibe this junior game today.
So I'll try my best to be unbiased. Should be a great junior game. Let's send it down to Kaylee Mansell.
Thanks, Matt. With that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at our weather report presented by Sports Turf. It is currently 70 degrees outside. You saw everybody coming in this morning. Big puffer jackets. The layers are constantly being taken off. But, hey, considering the weather last week, we cannot complain about how nice the weather is today. It is certainly going to make for a great junior game. Guys, make sure to stay tuned. We will be back with so much more after the break.
Number 23.
Hey, is the power off on this?
I don't know. Just take it off.
Safety violation, unsafe work conditions.
In the construction trades unions, safety is our highest priority, and we train you to recognize and speak out on unsafe working conditions so that everyone arrives and goes home safely. Learn about careers in construction at GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com.
Welcome to Chicken Salad Chick.
I've been looking for love. I forgot what I missed, but I remember that high. First thing I'd say, this is pure, this is perfect. Something nothing else can do, just you. So give me you.
There's no place like the Chick.
The Georgia Elite Classic is sponsored by GeorgiaConstructionCareers.com. Transform your future today. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 613, Atlanta's Electricians. Rome and Floyd County, where the rivers meet and the mountains begin. Chicken Salad Chick, serving a dozen varieties of chicken salad, all made from scratch. And by Rick Hendrick Chevrolet Duluth. Rick Hendrick Chevrolet Duluth, the #1 Chevy dealership in the state of Georgia with over 10,000 positive online reviews.
And back in Rome, and it's a warm day, as you heard Kaylee Mansell say. And Rusty, if I go down, just get me stretched out, hydrated.
Listen,
I have a pickle. I don't have any pickle juice, but I got a pickle left over from lunch.
You, Matt Stewart, you are the man of the year. You call 1,000 games. You are down to 2 halves of the high school football season. Dig deep for me. The good news is the ER is right across behind that visitor bleacher. Wouldn't have far to get you
Just roll me
if you did an IV.
Just roll me down the steps and over there. So, you know, we talked about the linemen, but how about some star power in this game as well on the national roster? You got Georgia commit Sokovie White, the wide receiver out of Cass.
Yeah,
who committed during the season.
I talked to Sokovie. I said, now listen now, you really want to play? And he was like, why are you asking me that? I'm playing.
Indeed, we'll get a chance to watch him today. Some other guys, Isiah Canion, who we just saw last month play quarterback for Warner Robins, but he's a wide receiver, going to play wide receiver in this game for the American roster. He had to play quarterback at the end of the season for the Demons, and they still made it to the state final.
Yes, and the Warner Robins staff was so excited for him for being so unselfish and doing that, but the ability to come out and play wide receiver, gets another TV game. Jeremy Avery, a member of the Warner Robins staff, will coach in the next game as the head coach of the freshman team, and they were excited that Isaiah will get to showcase what they think is his ceiling, his position on the next level, and that is wide receiver.
And I tell you what, a guy that I'm really excited to see play today for the American team is Gavin Hall, the quarterback out of Hebron Christian.
Yep.
GPB Sports All-State All-Star team athlete. This kid is a quarterback, is a junior at Hebron Christian, playing for Jonathan Guest, the new coach there. Passed for over 2,500 yards and rushed for nearly 1,800 yards.
Coach called me and he said, listen, Rusty, this guy can go. He said he is severely underrated. I stand on the table for him. I watched a little bit of tape. The junior staff said we'll take him in a heartbeat. So when Coach, as many players as he has coached over the years, when he calls you, Coach Guest calls you and stands on the table, you have to take it and take it serious.
And Gavin's a guy, doesn't have any offers yet, but he's taken unofficial visits to Georgia Tech, Boston College, UAB, Georgia Southern. As you know, quarterback's a different position.
Oh, yeah. It's this, and the portal recruiting, too, pushes it back. So quarterbacks are facing, a lot different thing. But as you'll see, the theme of the day, we got the big guys, the offensive linemen are back. Just going to field this kickoff, but
yeah, I've never seen a return team quite like this.
That looks like the Great Wall of China right here. The levee, kind of ironic. The levee sitting behind them here in Rome. We got 5 guys. You see Webb Davidson there. Listen,
Jarvis
Webb
Adams, number 68, playing here at his home stadium for Rome.
Yep.
There are no returns, so don't worry at home that these guys are going to tuck it and run. Their job is just to field the ball.
Yep.
So kickoffs from the 30.
And didn't trust it. He didn't trust it.
On the hop. Actually just going to be scooped up. That's Jarvis Adams. We saw him play this year for Rome, made it back to the semifinals, went 12-2, fine season for John Reed. They were back in the Final Four for the first time since 2018.
Actually, that was Jackson Pickett, 69. Jarvis Adams is 68 beside him. 69 picked
69
it up. He picked it up.
Okay,
Yep.
69
So Jarvis is right behind you. See him playing right tackle.
Jackson Pickett from Tucker.
Yep.
So here we go. American team in the blue will start on offense. Their head coach, Brent Osborne, out of Southeast Bullock. And Michael McClellan out of Johns Creek is going to start the game at quarterback for the American team. He's taken unofficial visits to Florida and Georgia. 6'4", 213 junior. He's got some size. Gladiators had a disappointing season this past year. I know they'll be working hard in the offseason to get back into the playoffs.
Yeah, a little low snap there. We talked about that the other day. Coach Luke talked about it in nice clean snaps. And
it was Dylan Elder on the carry. Junior running back out of Grayson, been offered by UAB, rushed for 1,100 yards this year. Actually, he's had 1,100 yards in his career, his freshman and his sophomore years combined.
That's going to be an interesting hire.
No doubt.
Whoever they get for Grayson, because they got a lot of talent. Another low snap.
McClellan going to the air over on the other side and incomplete. Good coverage out there.
Absolutely.
That's a big corner trying to get an ID on the number. He's got his jersey rolled up, so it's hard to tell who that was. That's a big corner out there. Might that have been? That's Justin Content. That's who I thought it was from Mill Creek.
Yep.
Had a big 80-yard touchdown catching that 5 for 55-second sequence in the 7A state championship game.
What a game he had. What a game Mill Creek had, but what a game he had, because there were some headliners, but you left that game knowing him and Cam Robinson, the running back.
And Trajan Greco's another guy
absolutely
that keep an eye on. Passes thrown out. Oh, what a hit at the 28-yard line. Bringing the lumber early, Devin Henderson, the DB from Cass.
Yes, and he is plays quarterback for them some, but man, he is a physical corner.
Get this, he's been offered by Florida, Atlantic, and Hawaii.
Yes.
He only goes to schools that are on the coast.
Yeah, well, he's trying to stay in there. Comes from the Keith Henderson, Skip Henderson family in Cartersville.
That's a family.
And no doubt, got that Henderson name on you. His brother plays linebacker.
So a punting situation. I think we only had 2 punts in our entire senior game. That's a nice spiraling kick.
Yep.
That was Ethan Bird out of Savannah Christian. 11-1, reached the quarterfinals this year. Team resume presented by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety. Ken Irvin, your buddy.
Yeah, man.
Pepperell native, 11 seasons in the National Football League. Played with the Bills. Played with the Saints and the Vikings. Got a quarterback trio. Got a good quarterback trio.
Yes, he does.
Fountain, Smith, and Jenkins.
Yep.
Cam Robinson made the GPB All-Finals team. Rushed for over 250 yards in their championship victory. Scrambling and throwing back across the field. That's Reese Fountain, the Rome quarterback, starting for the National. And that's going to be a completion to Kyle Vaca.
Say one thing about Ken, and I'll leave it alone, but he holds the NCAA record. He blocked 4 punts against Arkansas.
Loosen those ties on those uniforms a little bit so that we can read numbers.
I don't know if that's going to work.
So the PA's getting after him a little bit. Hey, look, I second that notion here.
Yep, I agree.
They're like loosen up the tie on the jerseys so we can read your numbers and give you the proper credit for stats. You want that now, don't you?
No doubt.
You know, if we'd gotten on the PA and said loosen it up so Matt Stewart can get your name right, they would have.
Yeah, that doesn't carry the weight.
Well, when you say so we can get your stats
that's
right.
That's the way you deliver it to some teenage football players.
They're untying that knot right
that's
now.
Right. Rolling those jerseys down. The old tearaways. The Earl Campbell's.
Been a while since we saw the tearaways. So 3rd down now and long. Reese throws complete out here at the 35, make that the 45-yard line, and that will be a 1st down. That goes to Sokovie White. Picked Georgia over 4 other offers, 24/7 Sports 3-star wide receiver. He was a little bit interesting when that name popped and he committed to Georgia. People a little surprised by
I'll tell you what, he played against Corky Kell up here last year. If you remember what he did in that game against Kennesaw Mountain. And I knew right then he had a different gear on him. Good job defensively right there.
But Sokovie White is kind of, people will say, because Georgia's number 2 in the recruiting rankings, they just recruit the big 4 and 5 stars. No. But they do evaluations. Who's the kid? The name escapes me right now. The kid from New England who's like a 3-star that they jumped on, and people were all surprised.
They had Jonel Aguero that is signed.
No, he didn't sign this year. He's a junior.
Oh, the quarterback, Ron Poliski.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, up in Connecticut at a boarding school.
Yep. He's another guy, and people, they signed him 3-star, and people were like, "Well, are they signing?" They didn't sign him; they committed.
Yes.
Yeah, and they're like, "What are they taking a commitment from a 3-star for?" But you were the first I saw online to jump on that and say, "Look, it might say 3-star,
right.
but Georgia evaluates him much higher than 3-star."
So I'll tell you this: he went to Georgia and worked out, and Georgia offered him. He got in a car and drove to Alabama the next day, and Alabama offered him. I don't worry about the ranking on him.
No,
I'll trust those 2 staffs.
Yep. Fountain in the pocket delivers a strike downfield at the 20-yard line. Beautiful pass and catch. That was Cam Robinson, the young man from Mill Creek, who last time we saw him was burning it up at Georgia State.
Nice job by Fountain escaping the rush there, stepping up in the pocket and delivering that down the field, and Robinson finishes it off. And great opening drive.
Yeah, no, don't be surprised to see Cam Robinson do that. Now he's back in there in the traditional running back slot, but he was a slot receiver prior to them moving him to running back this year. And he really obviously
moved him. Oh, man.
Paid huge dividends, rushed for over 1,500 yards, and showed despite his size, which he's not that big, and a great ability to run between the tackles at 5'9", 180 pounds. Fountain going to take a sack back at the 25-yard line. Got after him right there. That was Demarion West out of Marietta.
Yeah, beats his block right there of the right tackle. Beats the block of River Ridge tackle there and gets the sack.
Demarion West, 6'2", 205 junior from Marietta. Throwing a screen pass here, complete at the 26. And down inside the 20-yard line, that was Sokovie White. Second catch for him.
Yeah, got a flag there. A little chippy there. Don't need any of that in an all-star game. And I'll tell you what.
Penalty. Replay third down.
So the penalty obviously going against the offense here.
I'm going to tell you this. The corner was in on that play. Tharian Alexander is a corner from Southwest DeKalb. And every coach on that staff talked to me about him. And that's one of those hidden gems. 6 foot, long corner, long arms. They loved him, absolutely loved him.
6'3", 165.
6'3". I'm telling you now, he's long.
Had 55 tackles, 4 forced fumbles for Southwest DeKalb this past season.
These coaches loved him. It's a kid that definitely could benefit in a game like this.
Cam Robinson is the check down man. Reese Fountain looking downfield instead. It's complete at the 12-yard line and down inside the 5. Carson Westbrook out of Sly County with the catch and first down run.
That's what this game's about, Matt. You get a roam pass to a Sly County. You know what I mean? You go 6A to single A, and great job again there by Fountain. He got immediate pressure, climbed the pocket, kept his eyes down the field, delivered a nice ball.
Red zone presented by Chicken Salad Chick. It's first and goal to go. Cam Robinson hit in the backfield, not going to go anywhere.
Tell you what, they're having all kind of issues with Demarion West, defensive end for Marietta. They cannot knock him off the ball, and then he is creating pressure.
West had 14 TFL this season for the Blue Devils.
I'm telling you, he is. He's given this offensive line some issues right now.
Second down and goal. Fountain going to hand off. They're going to reverse it. Cam Robinson's going to throw it or try to. Lobs it up in the air and out of bounds.
They tried to a little Philly special.
Yep. And you know what? Fountain was open for a moment.
He was for a second. Yep. It's amazing how many people run that inside the 5. And you know it's coming at some point. Everybody's seen it. They run on every level.
I was getting ready to say, when the Eagles ran into the Super Bowl, it was like, oh, my goodness. About the millionth time you've seen it, you're like, oh, it's the Philly special. We've all seen that play.
Everybody does the Philly special.
Nobody's fooling anybody with the Philly special. It's not so special anymore. Third down and goal. Fountain goes up top. Contact. And no flag.
Oh,
wow.
Look, and he's telling him.
How was that not defensive holding at the very least? Sokovie White looked like he was being dragged down by the defender.
Yeah, that one's right.
It was a push-off, number one, so it was offsetting.
Yeah.
It was an offensive interference, a push-off, and then the defender grabbed it.
I can already tell those two are going to. So we got a sub here, kick a field goal.
Yeah, let's see what they're going to do. Looks like they're bringing the field goal unit on. Cole Snyder is their kicker out of Southeast Bullock.
It's interesting. He is from Southeast Bullock. Well, the other head coach for the American team is Brent Osborne, and he's from Southeast Bullock.
Yeah, so they're playing on opposite teams.
Didn't get his kicker. Got to draft better.
Brooklet, right outside of Statesboro.
Went down about 2 months ago. Spent an afternoon there.
Kick is up and should be good, and it is. As Cole Snyder converts on the field goal, gives us our first points in the Junior All-Star game. Back in Rome, it's Game 3 of the 4-game Georgia Elite Classic. We've had 2 great games already today and a good start here in the Junior All-Star game.
How about this weather? We're going to have a cramp in December? Like, are we going to have a...
Yeah, the announcers.
Bet you're going to make it, man. I called in some people. Got some pickle juice on the way, brother.
Oh, good. All right, great.
Called Jim Donnan, and he's got some guys going ahead. Appreciate it, Coach.
Got some pickle juice coming.
It's amazing, though. I mean, that is, that's what they use.
We saw it I thought we saw it in the finals.
Yes.
Because it warmed up, and I gave my very unscientific explanation. And my wife told me there's no science behind what you just said. I said, I know. It's just how but they warmed up, and I think to me what happens is, and I'm probably totally wrong, at least personal experience, cools down, you don't drink as much water, and then it heats back up, and you haven't hydrated.
Makes sense to me. Acclimated a couple of days.
You drink, at least I do, you drink less water when it's cold outside, right?
Yep.
At least I do.
O-lineman there just couldn't come through with it on that kickoff.
So back on offense goes the American team, and this is the Creekside quarterback, Vincent Berry. Berry in there running the show now. Scrambles forward and picks up a yard.
A few issues with snaps. I haven't seen that.
Berry threw for nearly 4,000 yards in his career, which started at Luella.
Yep.
3,978, 33 touchdowns, 25 interceptions. He's rushed for 307 yards in his career.
Saw him in his first game was here at Rome versus Creekside. It was his first start.
Yeah.
For Creekside.
In the Corky.
Yeah, in the Corky Kill. So that was a really, really good game until late in the fourth.
And you see that last name and the Creekside program, you start thinking about,
oh, man,
the Berries.
The Berries.
Yeah, the one that we just put in the High School Football Hall of Fame back in October, Eric Berry.
Yep.
But as far as I can tell, and I may be totally wrong on that, but as far as I've been able to tell, there's no relation.
No, I don't think so. No.
Yeah, just the last names are the same. Berry back to pass and put it in a tight spot. Was it intercepted or caught?
No.
Was it anything? Apparently it was nothing.
Either. Yeah. That was Cannon there, Warner Robbins.
What a job that guy did getting thrown into the fire. The playoffs had already started. Second year in a row, they lost a key offensive player. Last year was Malcolm Brown.
Yep.
Right when the playoffs started. This year it was their quarterback, Reese. And Cannon moved in from wide receiver to play quarterback.
So many people, Matt, we were lucky enough to do that game on GPB, and so many people text me afterwards and could not believe how good Ware County was.
They were really good.
For real.
Yeah.
That defense was for real.
And Jarvis Hayes, the wide receiver who ended up being our Georgia Cotton Commission player of the game, had a spectacular game. 6 catches. I didn't check to see.
Trey did not sign.
He did not sign with Western Kentucky.
He reached out.
Oh, Trey Hargrove. Yeah. I was talking about Jarvis Hayes.
Yeah.
I was talking about the wide receiver. I don't know whether he signed with Western Kentucky. He was committed to him.
So Trey Hargrove had a few offers and decided to wait based off his tape and what he's done. And I think Trey Hargrove is going to have a really, really busy January.
I think it's going to be really interesting. I talked to Nige about that. We were talking about that in the senior game, just how interesting this second signing period is going to be.
This time. Yep.
That first week of February. It's going to be the biggest second signing period we've ever had.
I think so, too.
Because of the new transfer portal rules have changed the game. And so there are just a lot of kids waiting. And doors are going to open, some are going to close, but there are pieces to the puzzle at these college campuses that have to be put in place before they get to the high school players.
I'm not sure if we have the replay. They just ran a counter, and I'm telling you, the guard and tackle just mauled 2 defenders.
Second down.
That's why you pick up 6 yards, because there's nobody there.
Running forward to the 44. They're popping some leather out there. That's KJ Smith from Roswell in their quarterback now for the national team.
Clark Central, a lot of players.
Yep, Gladiators.
Damian Gary, former Georgia player,
yep,
sent me a lot of those guys, a lot of tapes, did a really good job of getting his guys in front of our staff.
Now, you say the name Damian Gary. What play pops into your head?
The punt return
72-yard punt return against the Tennessee Volunteers.
Man, that
exactly
game.
Right.
Yep. He was dodging. He was bobbing in between traffic.
It was. Big play. Damian Gary. Now David Perno, the head coach of the Gladiators.
That's crazy.
Done a good job there. They took a step back this year. They were 5-6, but they've been a team that has, under his watch, been a traditional quarterfinal caliber team. Nice strong run around the edge. Lowering the shoulder. Jalen Frazier from Marietta.
Yeah, I think Marietta. I think the momentum they finished with. I think they're going to be a team that's going to be one to watch in the offseason.
Yeah, we had that conversation in our senior game, too. I mean, Richard Morgan really scheduled a really difficult non-region schedule. And they ended up winning their region, I believe, did they not? Yeah,
yes, they did.
They ended up winning their region after going 1-4, 1-5 in the front half of the season. KJ Smith throws complete. Nice catch here on the near sideline. Eric Hart out of Mountain View with the grab.
Pass completed to Eric Hart.
You know, we get all kind of names from people, and people, you know, reaching out, hey, look at this. One of our social media interns, Emma Johnson, goes to Marietta. She gets cornered up one day at lunch, and she's like, all right, give me all the names. Let me send them all to Rusty, and y'all leave me alone. So,
run to the outside. Jalen Frazier again. They do a good job on defense, not allowing him to turn the corner.
Nice job there.
Going to bring up 3rd down and long. KJ Smith reminds me a lot when I first saw him, came in last year, had to sub in when the late Robbie Roper got hurt. And it's the first chance we got to see him on TV. Reminds me a lot. He's just not as big.
Yep.
Reminds me a lot of Malik Willis. I mean, got that R on his helmet, so the natural comparison. Nice ball downfield, and flag out, and ball caught inside the 5. How about that catch by Devin Hester from Cedar Shoals?
It's Devin Hester Jr.
Wow.
Yep, sure is. Good ball there.
Here's Steve McKay, our referee, and the rest of the crew working
Pass
today's
interference,
junior
defense
All-Star game.
Declined. First down.
Brought to you by HendrickCars.com.
And, those guys didn't wake up the first of the week thinking they're going to be sweating at their game. I guarantee you that.
Great catch by Devin Hester. Now in the chicken salad chick red zone. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
No doubt. Great ball skills there. Good throw by Smith. He got unloaded on that thing.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, he is a super, like I said, reminds me of Malik Willis. I don't know what greater compliment I can give than that. Willis, again, will be the starting quarterback for the Tennessee Titans this week.
That?
Right up the middle. Ball is out. It's recovered by the American for a touchback.
Man, huge hit right here.
The ball fumbled into the end zone.
See who makes this hit, because that ball comes out quick.
Cam Robinson from St. Francis recovered.
So we've got 2 Cam Robinsons.
Yep.
That was Cam Robinson from St. Francis. What a season Frank Barden's team had, making it to the semifinals.
And really, truthfully, oh my goodness, look at that block. Can we run that back one more time at that angle? I want you to watch the guard. Watch the guard right here in the left of the screen. Watch him, watch 62. Follow 62 in the right guard. This is how you clean it up. We just missed it. Man, he buried him.
American team back on offense. And a big run on the first snap of this series. Will be a first down for the American. Is that Dylan Elder? Yeah, Dylan Elder
Grayson,
on the carry.
Dylan Elder on the carry. Jordan Miller from
It's interesting, his uncle is on the Buford staff, and he's the one that called me. Make sure he got in.
Thanks, Uncle.
Yep.
Dylan Elder picks up the first down. Ball at the 37.
RPO.
Quick pass, complete to Elijah McDowell out of South Gwinnett. First catch for him.
Nice ball there. Gavin Hall, first good look at this quarterback from Hebron Christian.
He's in there.
Nice ball. A little zip. Got it where it's hit him right in the chest.
Really intrigued by this Gavin Hall prospect. His numbers just phenomenal this year. Pass complete. Nope, dropped. Should have been complete. That was the final play of the first quarter as Alex Richard out of Arabia Mountain could not hold on to it. 1 quarter in the books. 3-0. National leads the American in our Junior All-Star game in Rome. Do it. And There he is, number 56. So many people get a chance to brag about their kids, their relatives in the game. This is my first chance to do that. Wilson Reagan, the starting center for the American team, 56, junior out of Elka. Got nice build, 6'3", 240. He's getting some interest from Mercer, Nicholls State, West Georgia, LaGrange. Benches 250, squats 345.
Coaches, hit up Matt. He's covering that NIL for you.
So, yes, his parents are my closest cousin. Actually, his grandmother is my first cousin, and then closer in age to his parents, my second cousins. I guess technically he's my third cousin.
Got
right?
you.
So, but a first for me in my career, which has been rather lengthy.
Yeah, well, if you see him at holidays, he's close enough.
So, good chance to see him play today, and good luck to all these guys, not just him, but all these guys playing today.
Like I said, I got a couple of high school teammates. Their kids are playing. Reese Fountain played with his high school with his dad, and Gabe Goggins, his son, Elliot Goggins. So it's fun to be able to watch some of my high school buddies and their kids play and show them my age.
So start of the second quarter, it's 3rd down and 10 for the American from the 50. Running a jet sweep to the outside. Nifty move right there by Camden Smith. He's out of Madison County.
A little juice to him.
He played some quarterback for Madison County this past year, playing wide receiver here in the All-Star game. 5'10", 165 junior. You know, when did it become a thing to roll up your pants above your knees? I mean, you used to get flags for not having your knee pads in.
Like, if these kids saw my pads, they would never talk to me again. Like, I had real knee pads.
If you didn't have your knee pads in or your hip pads or any of those pads, you got a flag.
I mean, these kids are playing in shorts.
I don't know what happened.
Some Umbros.
Hall back there scrambling around. Yeah. Gavin Hall dancing around, going to try to run for the first down, and does. So Gavin Hall putting on a show here, picks up the first down.
He showed me another gear right there now. If you want to talk about getting out of the pocket when things break down, put his foot in the ground, got up the field, and he's thick.
Another rush is good for a first down.
Hebron Christian, they were one of those schools that made the big jump. They were playing 4A this year.
Yeah, they're going to that program's going to ascend quickly. Coach Guest didn't come up here to go 5-5. I can assure you that.
Coach Guest had been the uber successful coach at Eagles Landing Christian. Pass is thrown low and incomplete, and then Elijah McDowell gets shoved down by Patrick Shattuck.
This is Elijah's 3rd year playing this game out of South Gwinnett. I think he's the guy that's his stock's going to trend up some as the spring goes on.
He's been offered by Colorado State. 6'3", 175 junior, had 19 catches and 3 touchdowns playing for Brian Lamar's team this year. Brian, you got to give him the ball more.
Hey, Brian, got to get it done.
2nd down and 10. Right up the middle.
Man.
Big run by Dylan Elder.
Nice blocking inside there. Yeah, they just caved that whole thing in.
Parker Shattuck from LaGrange on the stop.
Tell you what, Parker Shattuck on the stop there from LaGrange. I want to give a special shout out to Matt Napier and that LaGrange program, because I basically had to cut off LaGrange. He kept sending players, and he kept sending players. And if we put a tweet out that we had a player injured, Rusty, I've got one. So I can tell you that some schools around here, Houston County and some of those schools, Cedartown and Milton, and I could go on, but Matt Napier at LaGrange really, really promoting his kids and pushing them in this game and pushing them towards our staff, and he got a lot of them in.
And the Napier name, if it sounds familiar to you, his brother is the head coach at the University of Florida. Both of them played for their dad in Murray County.
How about that? You're going to see a very, very talented freshman from LaGrange wide receiver next game. He might be the top freshman wide receiver, along with a Peyton Zachary, young man out of Kell.
Pass thrown on the bubble screen, and that's going to be Isiah Canion with the catch, but he gets dropped right away And the ball's going to go over on downs.
Stopped him on downs there.
Pass completed to Shepard Acton from Lanier Christian. The ball goes over on downs.
Was this 2? I thought it was 2. It was. It was Isiah Canion.
Yep, it was Isiah Canion. Yep. Good job running to the ball there. Devin Henderson out of Cass, man. I'm telling you, he's a guy that's at corner going to keep getting more and more offers as the year goes on. They got a very talented team. And, you know, as we look forward to next year, right here in this stadium on Friday night, we're going to have Cass versus Rome.
Should be a fun game.
That's going to be a fun game.
Rome 12-2 this past year. Reese Fountain coming back. Their quarterback playing here in the game today.
Martavius Collins, Alabama commit.
Did lose to Phylon Green. He signed with Clemson 8 days ago.
Martell Height at Vanderbilt. They had a big senior class, but it's still pretty deep junior-wise. Got some young kids to get their chance. So, you know, Cass, Steve Gates, and that program, they've been waiting on this year upcoming. They got a lot of juniors and seniors back. Got a very talented sophomore quarterback, Brody McWhorter.
Pass is dropped. That's Jaden Jenkins in there, quarterback now out of St. Francis. And Gabe Bobbitt, the tight end from South Paulding, couldn't hold on to it. But, I mean, all transparency here. I mean, truth be known, until St. Francis started making their run this year, I didn't even know they had a football team. I thought they were just basketball.
I had to go by there. But they speak.
Frank Barden, who
he's here,
won a state championship at Cartersville, has put together a great little program. Brandon Strozier, their cornerback, who was named to the GPB All-State team, just signed with Clemson.
Lost a couple of transfers, and we'll talk about that in the next game. Braden Jacobs and Nick Brooks have both transferred to Buford. Yeah, that's so, you know.
It's a reality now in high school football that, you know.
When you lose a 6'8" and a 6'6".
That's hard.
That's hard, but, you know, they go back and look at this season. They took Prince Avenue to the bell in the fourth quarter. Had four turnovers in that game.
They had a shot at Prince Avenue.
They had a shot at Prince.
Ended up winning the state championship for the second time in 3 years behind a heroic effort from Bailey Stockton and Aaron Philo, who threw for over 400-something yards.
How about Ethan Christian on that ball? The game.
Ethan just had a fabulous game in the senior game. I think he finished with 6 or 7 catches for over 150 yards.
I'm telling you, that Prince wide receiver group, but you will Josh Britt, you will not soon forget the performance of Bailey Stockton. And he took a shot. I was on the sideline. He took a shot, and he rolled up on one of those touchdowns late, and he came over, and I could see it in his eyes. He was hurting. So I waited a couple of days, and I asked him, I said, was it bad? He said, it hurt, but I was not coming out. And, you know, you start talking about that kind of mentality, that kind of makeup, could not believe he was in that game, and he shined for the state championship.
4th and 1, going for it here.
How about that? A little trickery.
I don't know. Did it work, though?
I don't know.
Did the trickery work and get them the first down?
Oh, man.
The national team believes they got it, and the American team believes they stopped them. We might need an old-fashioned chain.
I hope we don't have a replay because we don't have that elevated view. Coach Osborne there from Southeast Bullock.
So, are we going to have a measurement here? Yeah, no, they're just going to
first down.
Going to give it the eye check.
Look, hey, don't tell me this game don't mean anything. They let Big Boy come up out there.
Yeah.
Look at that. And they gave him the old Bush push, too.
That was Jeremy Johnson, the 5'9", 270 junior defensive lineman out of Brookwood who picked up the first down.
Having the old Notre Dame, USC, Reggie Bush push there.
Going to need a lot of pushing. Jenkins going to hand off, and he gets stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Mac Nelson, the running back from Cass, on the carry, but he got stonewalled.
Mac Nelson, a young man that they're expecting a lot of big things from as his senior year comes up for Cass.
Cass had one of the biggest upsets in the state playoffs this past year, knocking out Jefferson in the first round. Jenkins, heavy rush, going to step up and run it, and fumbled the ball. He got stripped, and I believe the American has recovered inside the 50-yard line, and they have. Griffin Tully out of Blessed Trinity ends up with the loose ball.
Griffin Tully from Blessed Trinity.
Yeah, got to tuck that ball, see how he's let it get away from his body. Good job stripping it as he goes by. Don't know who that was. Right here, watch this defender come right there. Get his hand in there, knock it loose. Big turnover here.
Griffin Tully out of BT comes up with the fumble recovery to give the ball to the American team at the National 46.
If they can get something going, a little momentum with that turnover. Nice play there.
This has been a different kind of game from our first two, the 8th grade All-Stars and the senior All-Stars. A lot more offense in those games. Scrambling and running, McClellan, heavy rush, quarterback sack back on the other side of the 50-yard line. Patrick Shattuck comes up with the quarterback sack.
Yep, out of LaGrange, got a younger brother, plays in the freshman game, but right here McClellan's got to turn this loose. Cannot continue to hold on to that one.
Shattuck, 6'2", 215 junior out of LaGrange, offered by South Alabama.
Yeah, I think this is his second time playing in this game as well.
2nd and 17.
This half has flown by compared to what we've seen earlier today.
Well, no scoring.
Yeah. That senior game y'all had.
38-36 final.
Basketball.
Carry back across the 50-yard line down to the 47. That's Ryan Taleb. Taleb from Houston County.
Coach Jeremy Edwards, his quarterback. A.J. Hill, the 2025 quarterback, will play in the next game.
Oh, yeah.
Houston County, another program. Jeremy Edwards there, first-year head coach. He sent probably 6 or 7 guys here.
I think A.J., if I'm not mistaken, the number 5 rated quarterback in the nation in the 24/7 Sports Composite.
Could be, and he looks every bit of 6'5".
Threw for close to 4,000 yards for the Bears, leading them to the quarterfinals this year. He was named All-State, GPB All-State. Another quarterback sack. They're getting after it on defense now.
Yes, they are. Number 90 from Mountain View right there.
Manny Gayami.
Yes, look at him, just pushed back there.
Or I might have left off a fee. Guillaume.
Nice job.
What, the pronunciation or his defense?
His defense.
Okay.
I wasn't going to butcher it, but
so you let me try.
I'll let you try. See, I believe that's T.Z. Evans up top, another Mountain View player. See their defender.
Yep. Evans, a big 6'2", 220 junior tight end. They have him on the roster. And got to come up and make that catch and save yourself some yards, and that's exactly what the national team did. We'll step aside with 4.5 minutes to play in the opening half, and it's a 3-0 national lead.
The Georgia Elite Classic is sponsored by Sports Turf. You bring the vision, we'll bring it to life. The Atlanta Falcons, rise up dirty birds. Gatorade, fuel tomorrow. Ingles, low prices, love the savings. And by Personal Touch Lawn Care, the smallest details make the biggest difference.
4.5 minutes left in the first half. National leading the American 3-0. Back to live action. And a quick throw and completion up to the 35-yard line.
Complete to Taji Neal.
Taji Neal making the grab.
Little roam to Cedartown there, Northwest Georgia vibe.
Reese Fountain back in there, quarterback for the national team. They're wearing the maroon-colored jerseys and the American wearing the blue. Pass complete. Little sidearm action there from Fountain. Will pick up the first down as Cam Robinson runs to the line to gain.
Nice job there. Fountain had a big junior season, over 3,100 yards passing. I think 32 total touchdowns.
Yep. Had a great year, and Talking to John Reed before we called their semifinal game against Langston Hughes, is that, Fountain is a guy as he goes up top, and it's caught over the shoulder at the 39-yard line. And there he is again, Cam Robinson. For my money, pound for pound, he's one of the most dynamic players in the entire state.
What a great ball here by Fountain. Just a wheel route out of the backfield, and he drops it over the shoulder, and look at Robinson track that thing.
Reminds me a lot of his counterpart in the 7A championship game, Bryce Hicks. Both of them juniors.
That Carrollton running back, absolutely.
Yeah. Both of them great hands out of the backfield, can run the ball between the tackles.
Tough.
Going to play action him there, and Fountain's going to go down at the 29-yard line.
Fountain from Rome on the carry.
Now, we'd have to get them in a foot race to see who's the fastest, but both of them similar skill sets in that they can catch the ball out of the backfield, and that's a big part of Bryce Hicks' game.
Doubt. And if you're going to play on the
even
next
bigger
level,
than it was for Cam Robinson this year, Mill Creek. He was more between the tackles guy.
If you're going to be that size, you got to be able to do that.
Pass thrown complete on the screen, inside the 25 and down to the 20 it goes, and that will be another first down. Taji Neal making the grab.
Cam Robinson from St. Francis in on the stop.
Going to go fast with Fountain. Allow him to sub right here. Going to call.
That's not quite enough for the first down. It's going to be 3rd down and 2.
2-minute warning.
And there is the 2-minute warning. All we're missing is Gene Sarator to come over the loudspeaker. 2-minute warning.
Oh, man. Who made these rules?
I'm not against the 2-minute warning.
I like it. Yeah.
I like it. I like it in football. They don't have it, obviously, in college or high school. But I like it. Adds a little bit more element to the game, helps out, the team, helps out a number. It could help out the offense, helps out the defense if you're behind. So we take a look at the team resume presented by the Governor's Office of Highway Safety. Brent Osborne, the coach of the American team, running backs coach at Southeast Bullock. He's got a trio of quarterbacks in Vincent Berry, McClellan, Gavin Hall. We've seen all three of those guys play here in the first half. Kendrick Curry from Clark Central had a great two-way season, 65 tackles, 589 on the ground. Ricky Johnson from Houston County, 11 touchdown receivings. And Taleb from Houston County, a good complement to the aforementioned A.J. Hill in that Houston County offense.
I'll say this about Brent Osborne. He runs their recruiting at Southeast Bullock, their social media. He does a tremendous job trying to help promote their kids.
Fountain going to throw off his back foot and throw it out of bounds. He had no place to go with it.
It's a good job there. You got to take the negatives. Now it's 4th and 1, but you don't take that negative chunk play. Get rid of the ball. Wasn't there. Live for the next play.
So 4th and 1 coming up. Let's see if they go with some kind of power formation here. Doesn't look like it.
It's amazing what they put in 3 practices. They're not even using wristbands. I mean, they're signaling the plays.
Fountain wants to go to the air, throws to the sideline. It's complete, and that's a first down. Cam Robinson again, another huge catch for Cam Robinson.
Boy, he
gives him a 1st and goal to go.
Man, he is a weapon out of the backfield. Look, same route, just flipped the other side of the field. They get him one-on-one with the backer.
In the Chicken Salad Chick red zone, it's 1st and goal to go from the 4-yard line.
3rd time they've been down here, fumbled last time.
Up the middle, Cam Robinson down to the 2.
Robinson goes to about the
and I'm going to pull a line from another one of the shows that I do and say, make that kid an offer.
Make that kid an offer. Yes, sir. In our business, we root for people, and you don't root for teams, but Josh Lovelady and what he's meant to Mill Creek, for him to get that state championship, what a great story.
No, it certainly was. He's been there the entire 19 years of the program history. Was there when Shannon Jarvis started it.
Yeah.
They had you go back and look at their record.
Oh, yeah.
Back prior to, the first couple of years, like any program, you went through some lumps and bumps and, to finally get them over the top to have, arguably, I don't think there's any question, the number one player in the state, Caleb Downs.
No doubt.
Who stayed with the program.
Yep.
Like he said, he could have gone anywhere, and there were certainly people who said,
IMG.
maybe go to IMG, go
Yep.
someplace else.
Yep.
He says, nope, I'm sticking here with my buddies, the guys that I've come through the program with.
Yep.
I'm going to play here, going to finish my career here. And ultimately, he, Hayden Clark, Jamal Anderson, Cam Robinson, Trajan Greco.
So it's such a great teaching point, though.
Jacob Ulrich, who I thought was the best kicker in the entire state, led him to a state championship.
And that's what a teaching point. Listen, we stayed together. We won the 8th grade championship, and 4 years later, they capped it off with a state championship.
2nd down and goal. Direct snap goes to Cam Robinson. He hops in there for the touchdown. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say Aiden Banfield, because Coach Love let him get on top of him, get on me, but not talking about Banfield, who's their best offensive, lineman. And Cam Robinson scores it and gives the National a 9-0 lead.
Good job there.
And it doesn't matter whether it's the playoffs.
Look what some bowl the linemen down. That's what it's about, man. That's
been
what
watching
it's about.
a little football on TV, I think.
Yep.
Kick is up and good. It'll be interesting to see Mill Creek kind of on that, since Cam Robinson scored the touchdown. He'll be one of the guys coming back, but they got some dudes to replace.
Well, yes, and everybody knew they were senior heavy. So you start talking about teams that come back. Obviously, it's going to start with Carrollton and what they've got coming back. And it's not just Juju. I mean, they got a lot of guys coming back. And
Bryce Hicks for one. The tight end, Caleb, is it not Thomas?
Oh, Caleb Odom.
Caleb Odom, Caleb Odom, the tight end, who's one of the top-rated junior tight ends in the country right now. Got a lot of guys they'll be bringing back. And, of course, Buford brings back most of their guys. And like I was talking about Nige in the previous game, I think the loss to Walton in the second round is going to be a reset for that program.
Yeah.
It's going to be the little kick in the pants, the spark. I'm not saying that they needed it, but certainly after that upset for their program to get knocked out in the second round, I'm sure they're already going full bore, getting ready for 2023.
Yep. Walton returns. Jeremy Aslinski.
Yep.
So
committed to Wake Forest.
Interesting now with
season ended
with Lowndes. Now Adam Carter taking over.
Yep. Well, you got two new coaches down there. Shelton Felton.
Yep.
He's still a new coach at Valdosta. You got Adam Carter now. This will now be their third head coach in 3 years. Zach Grage, one season, and now Adam goes down there. Wish him all the best. So 1st and 10, under a minute to play here in the first half. Snap is dropped and picked back up again, and stumbling and going down. That was just a tough play from the very beginning. Had a hard time getting started. Vincent Berry in there at quarterback.
Talked with Sammy Brown. We talked earlier today, but say it again. Jefferson's a team that returns a lot. They're going to get healthy, and interested how that team up in Northeast Georgia, Prince Avenue, will replace a lot, but they will have Aaron Philo, quarterback, back.
He throws long, pretty ball down here in a jump ball, and incomplete at the 35-yard line. Isiah Canion was the intended target, but good defense downfield by Devin Henderson.
Look at him, almost good. Canion had to wind up playing defender there.
Yep. Down to 8 seconds left in the half, and a 10-0 lead for the National. Fountain been the big statistical star in this game. 10 of 12 passing for 133. And Cam Robinson, 5 catches for 75 yards and 6 carries for 18 yards. So Cam Robinson close to 100 yards of total offense himself. And that is the final play of the first half. It's a 10-0 lead for the National here in Rome as the teams head off the field for a brief rest, and we'll be back for the start of the second half in no short time at all. It's halftime here, 10-0 the lead.
The Georgia Elite Classic is sponsored by Score Atlanta, your source for Georgia high school sports. HendrickCars.com. Experience the Hendrick difference. The National Signing Day Frenzy. Celebrate Georgia's seniors and the next stages of their careers. And by Peachtree TV, Atlanta's own.
I'm Kaylee Mansell with special guest Todd Wheeler, a Rome native, former high school football coach here. When you look back at your coaching days, what are some core memories that stick out to you?
Just working with all the kids, and watching the kids develop, and taking a kid when he's a freshman and watching how he evolves to his senior year, and then seeing some of those kids when their dreams come true with games like these, and when they being able to watch them sign on the dotted line, and those kind of memories are just priceless.
Absolutely. And we share a similarity where you're both graduates of Pepperell High School, where you actually had your jersey retired. Not many people can say that. What was that moment like for you?
That was it was really a shocking moment because it was a halftime and I didn't know what was going on. And as I was walking off the field, Coach Hurst had come up to me and said, where are you going? I said, well, we need to get inside and make adjustments. He said, well, you're not going inside. I'm like, what are you talking about? And he goes, and by that time, I turned around and looked and realized what was happening on the field.
Oh, so you had no idea?
I had no idea what was going on. So, I mean, that's a special moment for anybody to get that done. And I just, that's something that you get because of teammates and over time, and it was really a special time.
And as I said, you're a Rome native. You've grown up around here. You've coached a multitude of sports, a multitude of players. And when you look at Rome as a community, how have they done a good job of keeping not only high school sports but youth sports relevant as well?
Rome does an outstanding job. I think Rome does a great job of encouraging those leagues to come into our town and be a part of our town. And as a kid growing up, I played at the boys club and behind the levee behind us, and just that experience that they've done and just kept that going over the years has really made Rome a special town for athletics and sports in general. I mean, there's so many people that have played behind this levee back here, name-wise. It's really a neat atmosphere that Rome has done over the years, and it's so historic.
Well, Todd, I appreciate having you come on. More than you know, I got a chance to play against your daughter in high school basketball, and here I have you sitting in this chair. Life really does come full circle, but I just want to thank you for all that you've done for this community, all the players that you've coached. But, hey, guys, we have more coming up right after the break, so make sure to stay tuned.
Thank you.
And again, welcome back to the Halftime Show, brought to you by Rick Hendricks Chevrolet Duluth. I am Kaylee Mansell with local coaching legend Al Thomas. Now, Al, I wanted to initially talk about your coaching career, but instead I want to talk about your time as a player at West Rome High School. How does it feel being back on your former home field?
Well, I don't get to come back that much, and I was thinking about it today. This is where we played high school ball, and actually the seating back then was light blue.
Wow.
And then underneath was green, and that was East Rome and West Rome. Mm-hmm. So that's how the color scheme was coordinated. But it's an awesome place and so much history, and I was a teeny tiny part of that, But it's really neat and exciting all at the same time.
I'm glad you brought that up, actually, because I've been hearing about West Rome, East Rome. I wasn't here for that transition, but when you look back on that rivalry, what are some of the core memories that stick out between the East Rome and West Rome days that you're allowed to talk about anyway?
Okay, well, one thing is that we played at 8 o'clock.
Great kick.
If you were not here at 6 o'clock, you didn't get a seat. So the whole town shut down. You had police escorts, and when we would leave West Rome to come over, even any game, we ran the red light, the traffic lights, and the cars pulled over, and they're honking and celebrating that's the football team coming through. The same thing for East Rome, and it was just something that was unbelievable. And then when you're in the middle of it, you don't really know how special it is, and then later on you realize how many people are played in the NFL that we were playing against every day, and how many great athletes came through both schools. Amazing.
Absolutely. No, I wish we had more time to talk. There's so many things that I could say to you. Such a hero in my mind from childhood. We could sit here and talk for hours, but hey, guys, the next game is about to start, so let's go ahead and hear from Rusty and Matt.
Thank you, Kaylee. It's great to hear about all these great Rome stories of yesteryear, no doubt about it. 10-0 National leading the American here at halftime. And Reese Fountain and Cam Robinson have really put on a show from the American in the first half.
Yeah, the offense has moved a little bit better with Fountain in, and he's able to get some balls, and he threw a great wheel route right there. They go heavy package to close it in on that. So interested to see the adjustments and see what Coach Irvin does offensively and what Coach Osborne does to try to generate more offense on his team.
All right, let's take a look at the halftime stats. They are brought to you by Gatorade, and these are the team stats, and obviously you take a look at the total yardage for the American, and it's a rather sizable advantage.
When you look at third downs, they're 0 for 6 on third down. You've got to be able to move the chains. They've got to be able to sustain drives, get something going. Let's see if they can just get some jet sweep, something easy. If it's me, I'm looking for Isiah Canion. Let's get him going. You know who's been quiet? It's Jacoby White.
Yeah.
We'll see if he gets some more touches here in the second half.
Yes, Jacoby White had a few early catches in the game, but has not been that big of a factor just yet.
Yeah, I mean, they got him the ball. They had a ball early with Reese Fountain, but he's the type of guy, you just pitch it to him sometimes. Jet motion, just give it to him. He's so electric. With no special teams, it takes a big part of Jacoby White's game because he is so dangerous as a kick returner and as a punt returner. But we'll see it with adjustments as we start the second half of this junior game.
All right, we'll step aside and come back and get ready for the beginning of the third quarter right after this.
The Georgia Elite Classic is sponsored by First Alert Weather app powered by Atlanta News First. Download the app in the App Store. The Georgia High School Football Hall of Fame, Georgia's newest football tradition. The Score Atlanta High School Sports Newsletter. Subscribe today for everything Georgia high school sports. And by Wendy's. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's.
Okay, here we go. Start of the third quarter in Rome, and a 10-0 lead for the National. You saw the stats. They have pretty much dominated statistically in this game. And the National will be receiving the ball to start the second half.
Yes.
Nice catch. Back there, Andrew Rosinski.
Hey, look at him. And that's why he's a D1 prospect. Got ball skills.
As you just mentioned, he picked up an offer from Georgia Tech last night. Had 5 offers coming into the week. Mississippi State, Duke, and Vanderbilt among them. At 6'6", 265 junior offensive lineman from Creekview. Is that a tackle?
Yes, I love his frame. He's got great body weight right now at 265. He'll be able to carry 300 easily. He can bend. He's going to be one of those young men. His recruiting is going to ascend really quickly.
As we go through the second half, kind of explain what the spring means to these junior players as we get this third quarter started, because this is kind of the big time for them.
Yes, it is.
Once we get into March and April, and the quarterback keeper, and that's KJ Smith on the run.
Yeah, that's KJ Smith there from Roswell. See a little juice out of him as well. This go time, for lack of a better term, it's go time for them. The spring practice will be huge. Where they are, weight, size, what they gained in the off season, and as they transition into that summer camp series in June, it gets real for them really quick.
So 1st and 10 after the run by KJ Smith, who begins this second half at quarterback, straight up the middle. It's going to be a short run by Jalen Frazier. Frazier with 5 carries now, approaching 20 yards on the day.
Yeah, you want to see a little more running. I thought we would see a little bit more running out of the backs we've had here, but so far the defensive front sevens have been able to limit that.
KJ Smith going to scramble out of the pocket. He's surrounded by traffic and throws, and it was still caught. That was a superb catch by Jalen Frazier. Even though he was hit while he was still juggling the ball, he was able to hold on to it.
Yeah, nice job finishing off here. Good play by KJ Smith to be able to step up in the pocket, move around a little bit, and just get the ball off. Even it's a 4-yard gain, 3-yard gain, but worked a lot to get that.
Yeah, Shepard Acton hit him in the process of him catching the ball, and he still held on to it. Third down now. Running a sweep to the far side, and the ball is out after a big hit, and it is going to be recovered by the American.
Great job. Whoever tracked him down.
That was Cam Robinson from St. Francis who had the big hit, or maybe it was somebody else. No, it was 15 carrying the ball.
So 42 had the hit.
So Hassan Sykes out of Tucker had the forced fumble.
It was Marquacius Wright out of Chamblee who made the initial tackle to hold him up.
And the recovery ended up being by Jalen Lackey out of South Gwinnett. And so the Americans set up for perhaps their first points of the day.
Got a chance right here. See if they take a shot with a little momentum.
Not much doing on the run right there by Ryan Taleb.
Ty Brewer from Central Carrollton.
Ty Brewer from Central Carrollton. Kevin Henderson of Cass.
Vincent Berry in their quarterback for this American team, trying to get on the board here early in the third quarter.
They got one-on-one at the top of the field, which would be the bottom for you guys here. See if they take a shot.
Berry, that's a backwards pass, going to throw it back to Berry, who's going to try to run it. Berry inside the 20, got tripped up on the play. Perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle out there on the edge. Kevin Henderson from Cass.
Yes, he makes a saving tackle. If not, it's a touchdown. You knew Canion can throw it for sure. Watch Henderson chase this ball down and swipe the leg, or that's 6. Great hustle there by Henderson. Love the play call from Coach Osborne's team, the American team. And they got something going.
As it is, it's 1st and 10 from the 12. Handoff goes to Taleb. Taleb running to the pylon is going to get knocked into the end zone for the touchdown. Taleb takes it in from 12 yards out, and it's 10-6. Strong run by Taleb, who rushed for 1,915 yards this past season. Scored 19 touchdowns. And he gets the American on the board here early in the third quarter.
Quick answer by the American team. Had a turnover, able to convert.
PAT is up, and it is good. 10-7. So the American right back in the game.
National team now leads 10-7.
We'll step aside, but the American moves much closer. 10-7. American gets on the board, cuts the national lead to 3. Matt Stewart along with Rusty Mansell. Game 3 of 4. We have one more All-Star game to go following the conclusion of this one, and that one will be the freshman All-Stars versus the sophomore All-Stars. Brandon Adams,
I'm going to tell you something.
Will step in and have the call on that one.
If I get you some pickle juice, you just want to stay and watch, because I'm telling you now.
How about I'll do some sideline reporting.
Get some sideline. We'll come down to Matt
I
Stewart.
haven't done enough yet.
Oh, man. I cannot wait for this next one. It is going to be Star-studded.
Yeah, got to be, really kind of surprised with the, I don't know, is it lack of offense or just great defense or a combination of both here in this junior game?
I think they're a little bit behind offensively. Hadn't had a lot of explosive plays. Reese Fountain's thrown a couple of balls that were on the money, but you want to see a couple of those explosive plays hit and see if this national team gets Sokovie White kind of in the game plan, because he's really the difference maker to me in this game.
Jaden Jenkins in there at quarterback now. Going to heave it downfield. It's caught at the 45-yard line. And a cutback in the middle of the field. And a great catch and run by Carson Westbrook.
Sly County, nice job there. Good ball there. Is that Jaden Jenkins?
That is Jaden Jenkins out of St. Francis.
Nice ball there. Coach Barden, his head coach, Frank Barden, is here today.
6 foot 180 junior quarterback, and that's a good look at Carson Westbrook right there. It's 1st and 10 with the ball at the 33. Handoff goes Mag Nelson. He got 8 up.
Man, Kendall Brown, Arabia Mountain. Great job right there. Coach Washington over at Arabia Mountain really pushing and promoting his kids too. Appreciate that, but look at that. Immediate penetration, and he just tosses Mac Nelson to the ground.
Big time play by Kendall Brown right there for a big TFL back at the 39-yard line. 2nd down and 20. Nelson gets it again, straight on. Lunges forward to the 36-yard line.
Mac Nelson, freshman year, was here at Rome. Transferred over, moved to Cass. Had a really good first year with Coach Gates and his staff.
3rd and 16. Jenkins eludes the pressure, directing his receivers downfield, and throws a bullet incomplete. Trying to get it to DJ Reese from South Paulding.
Demarion West from Marietta is having a game at defensive end. See Joseph Mosley, also from Marietta there. A couple of Marietta players in the junior class. Call him Joe Mo. But 41, Demarion West from Marietta is giving this offensive line all kinds of fits.
Yeah, West has had a big game.
Pressures.
And now it's 4th down. Officially, West with only 2 tackles and a TFL minus 7 yards. Yeah, but, it's hard to gauge sometimes the effectiveness of a defensive lineman just looking at stats.
Yep.
Don't always tell the story.
The impact.
A lot of times they have a lot of those invisible stats. Ball up, and it is broken up at the 6-yard line. Super play by Cam Robinson of St. Francis to come over and seat Belton on 4th down.
So Sokovie White is on top of him, but look at the safety come up over. Great job. Look how high Sokovie White was. Good job by the safety there to come over. That's what you want to see. You're in cover 2. There's a little hole there between the defensive back and that safety. And that safety has to be fast enough to get over and close it.
So the American gets the stop and takes over at the 37. Handoff goes to Elder. Tries to get outside and just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Gavin Hall back in there, quarterback for the American to start this possession.
All the quarterbacks going to get a chance to rotate. We kind of overemphasize that with the coaches. The next game, biggest freshman team we've ever had, and we did that kind of on purpose to so many players, so many good players, but we met with that staff. We're going to rotate a ton of players in this next game on that 2026 team.
Low snap, Hall picks it up, heavy rush, being flushed out of the pocket, dancing around back there, eludes 2 guys, fires downfield, and a flag out.
Yep. got a man down,
but an incredible job by Gavin Hall just to stay alive and get the ball out of his hands.
Yes. Big Jarvis Adams there, offensive tackle.
Personal foul.
Justin Terrell.
Blindside block on the offense. 15-yard penalty.
The penalty against the offense.
Yeah, that was Justin Terrell, I believe, from Rome, and took that blind side. But that's another one of those junior defensive linemen. Doesn't this always seem Rome has defensive linemen?
They've had a tremendous legacy of defensive linemen. Stephylan Green, just the latest in that run.
Yeah, you see that right there. Terrell takes a shot.
JT Terrell's another guy. He's been offered by Liberty. He'll be back next year.
They got some young guys.
But the defensive line that they had in that 2017-2018 run,
I've watched them beat Buford. I watched
among the best defensive line combinations in the state.
I'll tell you this, that Rome, those two state championship teams in 2016, 2017, that team, when they smelled blood, it was over. I've never seen a team that would suffocate you and close you down like that run. And they also averaged 51 points a game.
Yeah, the 2017 team that obliterated everybody, went 15-0, reminded me of the team that knocked them out of the playoffs this year, Langston Hughes.
Absolutely.
In that they mauled everybody.
Yes. And
no games were close.
They were good on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. No games were close. Backed up by the penalty, going deep, and a jump ball. Let's see, is that caught or is it intercepted?
He took it away.
It's intercepted.
He caught it. No, he caught it. Yeah, he took it away.
He caught it.
At the end, yes. Isiah Canion, and that's what we talked about.
Look at Isiah Canion go up there and get this thing.
Watch him climb this defensive back, just out-jump him and takes it away. It was.
Right
he
there.
took it away from him. Watch this at the end. You got to finish the play.
It appeared to be intercepted by Jaden Rivera, and then Isiah Canion took it away with it.
How about that?
Took it away from him on the way to the ground. A super big-time catch by Isiah Canion to give him the ball at the 42. Hall throws complete to Canion again as he stretches forward to the 30-yard line.
Complete to Shepard Acton from Lanier Christian. Good for another first down.
So Isiah Canion with the catch right there. And another first down. That's back-to-back big plays to Isiah Canion. Elder on the run. Stopped at the 29.
Grayson on the carry.
Best team you saw this year, Mill Creek or Langston Hughes? If you had a neutral site game, both teams healthy.
Man, you can't do that.
You'd just be glad to be there.
Because I'm going to talk to one of those coaches at some point in the near future, and I don't want them to hear me say.
Oh man!
Let me just say this: I'd love to call that.
Oh my goodness, what a game that would be!
Pass is thrown complete at the 26-yard line.
Fumble.
And the ball is out, and still out, and is finally recovered by the National. Jackson Hancock of Sequoia ends up covering the loose ball, and a scoring opportunity for the American Dies on the turnover.
Nice job here. So he's just fighting for yardage there. And he turns around. Yeah, takes a shot. And then Hancock misses it once, misses it again, doesn't miss it a third time. He falls on it at that point.
Third time he's decided the scoop opportunity is passed.
Got to get on it at that point.
I just need to fall on top of it. So the ball goes over to the National on the turnover with less than 6 minutes now to play here in the third quarter. Reese back in there at quarterback.
He's had two.
Reese Fountain.
Really good. The last two drives been really good. Got the ball down the field. See what they do here.
Play action. Quick toss to the far side. And catch. And a short gain on the play. Taji Neal.
Yep. Next guy there at Cedartown. They like him a lot.
I mean, as far as late game drama, might have been the best game out of the 8 state championship games.
Man.
Went right down to the wire and a goal line stand by a Benedictine on the final play. Reese Fountain goes up top. Man broke open, got turned around the wrong way, and couldn't come up with the catch. Devin Hester was the target. Gonna be third down.
Yeah, 3rd and 5 here.
10-7, National on top. Reese Fountain, 11 of 14 passing in this game for 139. He's the guy in at quarterback right now for the National. Cam Robinson's lined up next to him. He's going to get the handoff, going to try to squeeze to the edge and flag out as he spins forward to the 28. Would be close to the first down, but check the penalty flag.
Holding, offense.
Holding is the call.
10-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
Would have been move the chains there. Now they come back.
And they're going to have to come up with a big 3rd and long conversion to keep the ball. 3rd and 15 now following that holding penalty.
Tucker Pruitt is the offensive coordinator on the sophomore team from Fitzgerald.
Yep.
I had a good long talk with him last night. He's had a really good year, and obviously.
The offense takes the time.
Timeout.
So a timeout called, I believe, by the offense.
Following this game, you'll be a battle between the freshmen.
Let's take a look at the Georgia Elite Classic sophomore. I just heard the announcer say sophomore. I meant to say scoreboard, presented by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 613. And you see the finals from earlier in the day. 8th grade game won by the National 28-14. Senior game won by the National 38-36. Here in the 3rd quarter, Nationals leading. I see a trend.
Well,
Nationals
didn't think of that. Yep.
And then we got freshmen and sophomores coming up at 6:15.
Sophomores have never lost. And I'll say this. They're a heavy favorite tonight. But I will say this freshman team has got some skill players that could create some matchups. Some wide receivers specifically that could give the sophomores some issues.
Fountain going to throw out here, complete to Robinson. He's got room, got a first down and more, and all the way up to the 44 to flag out. Might have a hold downfield.
Complete to Robinson. But there's a flag at the end of the play.
I think they're going to be going against the offense here with a hold downfield, which was totally unnecessary.
It is a backbreaker of a penalty. Down the field, yep, he just said hold.
Would be from the spot of the foul. So have they picked up?
Holding, offense, 10-yard penalty.
Holding
replay 1st down.
So it will be 1st down.
1st down, okay.
So it'll be marked off from the spot of the run, which ended up being the 47. So that's going to put the ball around the 37, which is enough for a 1st down. But how about the day that Cam Robinson has put together today? 5 catches for 75 yards, not counting what we just got right there, and 6 carries for 15 yards. And
yeah,
that
was
was
something else, man.
Yeah,
he is something else.
So the mark-off will put it at the 37.
That's a spot foul, so it's still a 1st down.
So a 1st down despite the penalty because Cam Robinson picked up enough on that catch and run. So that puts him over 100 yards of total offense. Quick toss. Ball is out and maybe recovered by the American on the other side of the 50. That's a catch and a run. And it is going to belong Still no signal from our officials.
We might have
No, it's going to be.
They get it back.
The Nationals ball.
Ken Irvin was reaching for that red flag. We were about to have he was going to challenge that. At least let him take a look at it. But
Gabe Bobbitt with the catch, fumble, and then recovery.
Man, does he? You think he has this?
I definitely think that's a catch.
Yes, absolutely. Two.
I mean, there's no question in my mind that's a catch. It's a catch and a fumble, and they were able to get back on top of it. So ball at the 47. Robinson makes a cut in the hole and then gets stuffed at the 46 after a 1-yard gain.
Young man we had in this game last year, Gus Gamage out of Darlington.
Remember him, yeah.
Gus verbally committed to University of Georgia today as a preferred walk-on.
Good for him.
So had offers from Georgia Tech, had an offer from Army, scholarship offer. A few schools. Georgia Tech came in a few weeks ago offering preferred walk-on. Then Georgia comes in as a 6'5", 290-pound offensive lineman and verbally commits.
Nice throw, incomplete though. Did he hold on to it? No, he did not. I didn't think he did. Eric Hart. That was a nice slant pattern right there, and Fountain put it right on the money.
I mean, he hit him right there. Reese does a good job of his arm angle. Just gets it out of there.
That's just the 5th incompletion for Fountain.
That might have been his best ball of the day.
At least
second
two of
best
them
ball.
have been dropped.
Yeah, second best ball of the day. That wheel route was outstanding.
So his completion percentage at 76.5% for the game. Really could be higher had he had some help from his receivers on a couple of those. Fountain up top in traffic. It's intercepted at the 24-yard line. Picked off. Cam Robinson played deep safety and just watched that ball come right to him. Cam Robinson, the 6', 180 junior DB out of St. Francis.
Good job there. Deep safety, just steps right in front of that ball. Jumps up and gets it. Coach Barden told me he's the next one.
So the ball goes over on the turnover. Chicken Salad Chick congratulates Georgia's elite high school football players, families, coaches, and fans. They look forward to serving you chicken salad chicks made from scratch chicken salad in our restaurants throughout Georgia, or order online at chickensaladchick.com.
Apologize for not knowing her name, but she is from Rome, the founder of Chicken Salad Chick, and grew up here and I believe went to Darlington High School.
So my takeaway from my day in Rome calling these games with you is that Rome is best known for chicken salad and barbecue.
Well, hey, we don't play with our food now. It's real deal here. See Webb Davidson there, 77, big tackle. He's going to be an SEC guy, SEC, ACC, got offers.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Power 5. Interesting, he came up here as a freshman from Tatnall Academy. Nobody knew who he was, and he jumped on the radar really quick.
Slips to the outside, a first down run by Taleb.
Ryan Taleb from Houston County.
Rushed for over 95 yards a game this season. Also had 36 catches out of the backfield. 23 total touchdowns for the junior running back this season. It's interesting watching it. We do have a great crowd, but I noted it's interesting calling one of these all-star games because you don't have the typical cheering that you do for a normal.
All right, so I made the suggestion earlier today. What I want to do next year is I want to get a local band from every high school and play one a game and a cheerleading. If your band loves your cheerleaders do, so we'll get more people involved because it's. I went to see Keith Marshall play up in Raleigh, North Carolina one time.
Yeah.
It was the quietest game I've ever seen in my life. So we got to get some more environment. We'll work on that.
Into the third quarter, still anybody's game. National on top 10-7, heading to the fourth.
Welcome to Chicken Salad Chick.
I've been looking for love. I forgot what I missed, but I remember that high. first thing I'd say. This is pure, this is perfect. Something nothing else can do, just you. So give me you.
There's no place like the Chick.
Sweetheart, please don't forget to wear your seatbelt.
I got it, Mom.
It's a really nice day, living in the right space. Breathing your grace, got me feeling some kind of way.
In the blink of an eye, so many tomorrows can disappear. Buckle up for your future. Every trip, every time. A message from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety.
Hendrick, you're ready for a new truck or SUV, but actually finding what you want is really tough right now. Well, Hendrick has it. Visit HendrickCars.com and shop over 10,000 new and pre-owned vehicles from our nationwide inventory. We have all of your favorite trucks and SUVs, with more arriving daily. If you don't see the exact one you're looking for, no problem. We can order it and have it built exactly how you want it. Your search for your next vehicle ends right here. Shop HendrickCars.com.
The Georgia Elite Classic is sponsored by McDonald's. Brought to you by Greater Atlanta Area McDonald's. Download the app for great deals. Smart Local 85. Get your sheet together. The Governor's Office of Highway Safety. Seatbelts save lives. The Governor's Office of Highway Safety reminds you to buckle up before every trip. And by Breda Pest Management, the official pest control of Atlanta.
Start of the fourth quarter. National on top 10-7. Matt Stewart along with Rusty Mansell. Hope you've enjoyed our Georgia Elite Classic day. This is the third of 4 games with one more to follow. That'll be the freshman and the sophomore All-Stars. And the American on offense running Wildcat here with Dylan Elder taking the snap on 3rd and short, and
nice
he's
play.
going to lunge forward and pick up the first down.
Nice formation, nice play out of the timeout. The old basketball, draw your play up during the timeout. I like it.
Elder on the carry. Good for a first down.
Looks like we've got a little bit of a traffic jam developing here outside of Barron Stadium. This is rush hour in Rome.
Hey, and that right there will make you mad, that rush hour.
Yeah.
Those 12 cars in line. Proud of my city. It's grown. Don't want this secret to get out too much, but
keep putting games on television. You're not helping.
Oh, what a great place, though, to grow up, and got everything you need here.
Snap is fumbled, picked up and running, and dropped back at the 30-yard line. McClellan.
We'll talk about Ken Irvin a little bit here on the national head coach. I grew up with him, 6th grade, same birthday. Played 10 and a half years in the NFL. Picked off Dan Marino, picked off Peyton Manning. He was like he holds a record for block punts. But I'll tell you this:
tremendous career.
What he did after life, NFL, what he's done as a father. His daughter plays basketball at Syracuse. Son was going to run track at Bama and pulled a hamstring, had a real bad quad. So, but helps with the Greater Atlanta Christian program, has for many years. Very successful businessman and one of the most grounded human beings, raised by his mom and grandmother, and just super, super proud and glad to call him my lifetime friend.
Absolutely, and excited to him coaching in this game
today.
He
loves it. He's been grabbing to me all week. If something's not on the minute, I get the text, I get the message. Hey, he's a creature of habit now.
He is the JV head coach for Greater Atlanta Christian.
Yep, and does the defensive backs, Kyler, Michael, all those guys that's come through that program, work out with him. He's trained a lot of DB. Darius Slayton.
Yep.
Micah, what's Micah's name? Micah Abernathy. Defensive back over, played at Tennessee. All those guys Ken's trained. And
McClellan in the pocket.
Good
across the field, and that's going to be a nice catch for a first down at the 48-yard line.
McClellan's pass completed.
Next set of head coach. So give your guy a chance. Nice job. Dropped in the bucket between 2 defenders.
Yeah, Mampari. Tylen Shirey was looking at the wrong 82.
Yeah, Darlington. Junior from Darlington right here up the street.
Also a big baseball prospect in that program. Plays second base, and shortstop for the Tigers.
Head coach Tommy Eighth had been there a long time, did a really good job. They were undefeated this year and ran into a Mount Pisgah team with Jackson Doya and Tyler Honeycutt and those guys, and kind of got upset a little bit in the second round, but I believe they finished 11-1.
Yeah, they did, 11-1.
Known Coach Eighth a long, long time, does a great job there at Darlington.
Still just a 10-7 game. You saw the scores from earlier. 42 points total scored in the 8th grade game, and then 74 total points scored in the senior game. Second down and 10, double move here. McClellan now in the pocket, going to go down at the 42. McClellan is sacked. See who's getting off the pile there. Looks like Jacob Jackson from Evans.
And Justin Terrell there, 99 from Rome.
McClellan passed for 1,700 yards, close to 1,800 yards, 13 touchdowns, rushed for 3 touchdowns for the Gladiators this season, and Drew Connick's first season as the head coach. Drew Connell's first season as the head coach. His dad played for the U.S. Naval Academy.
Got a very talented wide receiver there, Kyle Vaca. Junior wide receivers in this game actually as well. Plays on the national team, and I expect Kyle to see he's going to have a really good offseason, hard worker. I think his interest is going to pick up.
McClellan, nice one-headed catch in traffic for Elder, but he's got no place to go with it, and it's going to be 4th down.
77 there.
Jeremy Johnson.
That is a big man moving in space, but he did a great job. Watch him close right here. Look at him track the ball, finish off the play.
Big man for Phillip Jones, Brookwood Broncos. You'll remember he picked up a first down earlier in the game on that short yardage play. So punting situation here for the American. Ethan Bird lets it fly.
Got Vaca there. Yep.
Ethan Bird out of Savannah Christian. Savannah Christian, if you do not know, has the #1 sophomore linebacker. I know you know.
Defensive lineman, Elijah Griffin.
Defensive lineman, Elijah Griffin.
I tell you what, I went down to see him, made that coach run late in the fall. Keith Brooken's son plays linebacker there. Logan Brooken.
Really? Wow.
Listen, legit 6'3". And he's picked up some ACC offers. Georgia Tech just offered him, and I'm telling you, Keith Brooken was an absolute baller, but his son, Logan Brooken, is a lot bigger than people think, and he's a 2025. He will be a name to know as the season goes on this year, with that, along with Elijah Griffin in that program.
Yeah, well, I was kind of going through the rankings, and you can help me out a little bit here just to talk about the incredible defensive talent that is coming through this state over the next couple of years. That's Sokovie White on the sweep. But you got Elijah Griffin, #1 rated sophomore defensive lineman. Zayden Walker out of Sly.
Elias Williams, a 6'6" tight end outside linebacker at Charlton.
Isn't Zayden the #1 linebacker, sophomore linebacker?
He's up there, if not.
And then you got Sammy Brown, the #1 junior linebacker at Jefferson.
In my opinion, one of the top offensive tackles in the country is Warren Gadsden at Westlake. By the way, it's 6'7".
Yes. You got KJ Bolden, the #1 safety/athlete in the country as a junior, rising senior at Buford. His teammate Edric Houston, who's top 5 defensive end lineman at Buford.
Absolutely.
The point I'm trying to make is you think about all the offense that's come through this state. This state is heavy laden defensive,
and it's
top of the line, #1 type caliber defensive talent over the next 3 years.
And it's been a little down with D linemen. Yeah. The 24 and 25 class are here. And the offensive, you're about to see what I mean when I say the sophomore offensive line class is stacked in Georgia, because you're about to see it on display the next game.
Scrambling, KJ Smith looking downfield as he runs and dumps it off short to Sokovie White. Did we have a flag come out at the end of the play?
Yeah, I think we did there.
Yeah, but it's going to be a fun watch these next couple of years. All this star
personal foul,
defensive talent.
Late hit On the defense.
I put my hands on it.
That's a 15-yard penalty.
I didn't put my hands on it.
First down.
Live mic.
Keep playing, playing against 12. Playing against 12.
And here's the thing, too, Sokovie White faces. Every one of those players know who he is.
Yeah.
Every one of them knows he's committed to Georgia. Every one of them knows he has all this attention. So sometimes he gets a little chippiness with people trying to making a name with him, hit him late, want to hold him, those type of things. He'll learn he has to face that, but still it says a ton to me. He's out here competing and wanted to compete. Asked me if he could play both ways, matter of fact.
Backwards pass here, and it's dropped by Vaca.
That was going to be a double pass.
Yep, it was.
Yep.
Kyle Vaca was setting up to throw the ball downfield, but just couldn't hold on to it. Had Jalen Frazier going on a go route, or perhaps you could throw back to the quarterback. I guess you might have some options on that play, but it's incomplete.
Look at 41 there, Kendall. Kendall Brown. No, that's Demarion West. I'm telling you, man, this is a kid that really need to know more about because he's been really good today. He's a lot longer in person than I thought. Long arms from Marietta, junior defensive end.
Handoff goes to Frazier, and he gets stopped in the backfield, and it is Demarion West who was lying on his back and made the tackle.
Yes. Telling you, man, he has had it. Look how long he is.
I mean, if we can see that one more time, he was flat on his back and still was able to reach up and make the tackle as Frazier was trying to run by him.
They've had difficulty with him all day.
Under 7.5 to go. I was here when the sun was going up, and now it's going down. 3rd and 16. Pass is thrown complete by K.J. Smith. It's going to be close to a first down. Close to getting back to the original line of scrimmage. Yeah, they got a long way to go. And it's going to be 4th down, and they're probably, we'll see if they're going to trot the punter on. That goes to Eric Hart. So going back to the Sokovie White conversation, you're telling me as the only player out of these 4 games committed to the University of Georgia, he had a target on his back.
Yes, yeah. And listen, I know Sokovie. He's not quiet, but he also gets a little extra because everybody tries to, hey, I D'd him up and those types of things. I've seen that before with other people.
And movement on the line.
I don't think they're going to call that.
They're just going to let it. They're going to let it go for now.
Look at there.
Nice catch.
Nice flip.
And we'll step aside as the American gets ready to go back on offense. They're still down 3 points. 6:19 left in this one. National leading the American 10-7 as the American goes back on offense, but running out of opportunities here in our junior all-star game. Let's see who's out there to take the snaps.
Gavin Hall again.
Yep, Gavin Hall's going to get these snaps on this critical drive. Taleb runs it up to about the 34.
Ryan Taleb on the carry.
Taleb. My apologies if we got it wrong. It's a little bit of a scramble. Don't get to typically go through the normal routine as I do going calling a game.
You still.
Sometimes.
I'll say it. I work with 2 guys that put in a ton of work. And
Gavin Hall scrambling and throwing. Did he get his foot down? He did at the 40-yard line. That's a nice catch over there on the edge. I think that's Kendrick McWilliams out of Johns Creek.
Good ball. I'm telling you, Gavin Hall, he's been impressive. Nice footwork there. Yep. Look, get that one down. Good job.
Got the one down that he needed. Kendrick McWilliams, 6'3", 210 junior tight end. Plays for the Gladiators.
I'll say this, Matt, working with you, to see how much goes into a game, I don't think people understand how much research you have to do for one game, not just knowing the pronunciations.
Well, appreciate that. Handoff in the backfield and stuck there. Big defensive play. Taleb That's a TFL for the national defense.
My man, 77.
Jeremy Johnson's been active today.
When I say he's low to the ground, this man is low to the ground. And that's an issue. I mean, get a guy like that.
He's got leverage.
He's got leverage on you.
5'9", 270 or so they report.
Yeah, I don't know if he's 270, but he's played well.
2nd down and 12. Up the middle, Gavin Hall. Nice open field tackle. Came racing in from the defensive backfield, Jacob Jackson,
out of
Evans. Linebacker out of Evans.
Next game, his head coach, Barrett Davis, will coach the sophomore team that has Mason Short, the 6'7", 300-pound offensive lineman. Already a 4-star. His next 2 visits, he told me yesterday, he will be at Georgia in 3 weeks. He will be at Alabama in 4 weeks. And when I say he's 6'7", he's 6'7".
Wow.
And when I say that the guy playing beside him is 6'8" .25", he's 6'8" .25".
And he's on the sophomore team.
They're sophomores, so their 2 tackles go 6'7" and 6'8".
Let me ask you this: when you got a sophomore who's already 6'7", 6'8", Gavin Hall on the run here, how big of a concern that he grows out of the position, that he gets too big to be in the stance? Now, Gavin Hall ends up losing his helmet. You see, he's going to have to come out of the game right now. He's not happy about it.
Man, he is upset. He took a shot, but you see a tough young man right there. Physical right here. Let's see what happens here. Just someone comes in right
there.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Yep, that's something they probably need to.
Yeah, they're going to check him. He's mad. He don't want to come out. That tells you what kind of how he's made up.
And flags go out. We're going to have the coaches are highly upset about this. And this is one area I'm not getting on.
The previous play is under review.
Was it targeting?
Yeah, that's one.
Now we're going to get maybe unsportsmanlike as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's targeting.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
That is lead with your helmet right there.
And that's one area where I feel like the National High School Federation needs to do a better job in catching up with everybody else. In the NFL, in college football, they've done a great deal to try to take this out of the game. I think High School Federation officiating could do a better job of cracking down on this, making the penalties stiffer. Now, I know a lot of it has to come with, in the collegiate and the NFL level, what we have here that they have not yet put to good use, and that's replay.
Yeah,
that's a big part of it.
Yep. That's targeting to me.
Yeah, for the players' protection.
Yes.
That's one area where I feel like they're still a little lacking.
And I think for all the stuff, we don't get back into the state championships. Let's hear the call.
Call's been overturned. Personal foul. Targeting. On the defense. Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike contact on the offense.
And you see, here's the deal. He just said it. It's targeting.
Yes.
And there's no ejection.
Yep.
You want to get serious, and that's what college football did. You want to get serious about taking targeting out of the game. You've got to apply a stiff enough penalty to incentivize players not to do it.
So let me ask you this. Would you be opposed, and here we are, this is a great example. We're 2 minutes left in this game. Would you be opposed to a 1-quarter suspension? I feel like a half is a little much.
Yeah.
But listen, there's 2 minutes to go. So it's in the game, but he's out of the game for the rest, and it's a tight game. I think we've got to have something. In my opinion, I like a quarter. You said a quarter, you can't come back. But I agree. We've got to get our heads together.
Well, they just got to catch up.
Got to catch up.
I mean, they're behind the NFL and college football on that. And I know high school rules, and this is not a Georgia thing. This is just a national thing I'm talking about here. And the rules are not always synced up in the same. This is one area where they need to, really even more than that. We're talking about high school kids. They really do need to get tougher on that. And I will say this, we don't see it a lot. We don't see a rash of this kind of stuff, but that's a play right there where there needs to be a tough penalty on that.
And you see his helmet. He has a special helmet too. See, he has that the newest technology helmet. You see that.
Yeah. And now the sideline that was upset about it.
Yes.
And the officials agreed with him and said, you're right, that was targeting. Then they get an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
Well, they went on a little heavy.
Because they were upset about it.
They went a little heavy. Can't go heavy.
So 4th and 6 after everything is settled here. Yeah, so how the heck is it 4th and 6 after a targeting call and not an automatic first down with a player ejection? These are just, I don't want to get on my soapbox.
And Coach Irvin is definitely asking on his side explanation of this. He didn't like it either.
Well, the number one thing I think we would all agree on is players need to be protected. And it's a physical, violent sport. Players get hurt all the time. There are things you can do. And college football has figured that out to try to change the way players tackle.
Yes. And it's an emphasis in youth sports now. So I agree with you. Got to have something. But, man, they've got this call here. And I love Ken to death. The ref's got to make a call here, and he's got to get to the sideline at some point. He's still upset. I think he was wanting to know if their penalty gets marked off.
See, the crowd's going nuts. They're like yelling, it's first down, it's first down. So
they don't back the team up here.
Now they do. They got it straight.
Yep.
Okay. So ball at the 45-yard line for the American.
Double.
Trickeration here.
Oh, good ball.
Pass downfield and incomplete. Camden Smith, who I told you before, played some quarterback for Madison County this year, playing wide receiver here in this game, threw that ball downfield. Incomplete.
It's a good ball, too. Just a bit outside.
Ran out of real estate. We're down to 2:44 left on the game clock. Elder running the ball to the 49. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 5, maybe 6. Clock continues to run.
Try to get a play off here before the 2-minute warning.
Had a whistle that stopped the clock at 2:07.
Okay, yeah, here we go. 3rd and 7 now. Move the chains.
Now the clock's moving again. It's going to stop at 2 if they don't get this play off in time. They do. Hall going to run it, and he gets dragged down at the 49. It's going to be 4th down, and that's the 2-minute warning. So 2-minute warning stops the clock. The kids aren't quite used to this. They're standing there waiting for the next play. Now the players go to the sideline. 4th and 4 with 2 minutes remaining in the game, and a big play coming up for the American offense. If the National can get a stop, There's still enough timeouts yet. They can't totally just knee this game out. But it'll be close. Let's take a look at the player of the game. It's presented by Rome and Floyd County, and it is quarterback Reese Fountain playing here on his home field today. Rusty, 13 of 18 passing. That's 72% for 190 yards.
Yeah, it's hard to get too much of a rhythm in an all-star game, but this felt like it was different when Reese Fountain was in. He was able to get the offense up and down the field, threw a couple of really good balls. As you said earlier, Matt, had a drop. 2 drops, or would have been much more, but Reese Fountain, look forward to him senior year here. Few offers, Georgia Southern, Tulane, few schools there, and I think there's going to be one that schools are really going to take a good look at as spring practice starts. Dual threat.
I think Sanford and SEMO, Southeast Missouri State, an FCS program, also offered him as well.
Yep.
So here you go, 4th and 4. Line to gain is the 45. And now a timeout is going to be called by the National. So the National will have 1 timeout remaining. The American does have all 3 timeouts remaining. So even if they fail here on this 4th down conversion, they do still have all 3 timeouts to use on defense that they can use to maybe try to get the ball back if they can get a, 3 and out.
Yep. See Coach Ken there. He's still coaching up hard. I asked him many times who was the one guy that was toughest to defend all the years, and every time he says is Andre Rison. You couldn't get your hands on Andre Rison to jam him. You couldn't get your hands on him, he said, to jam him off the line of scrimmage.
I'll date myself, but I saw one of the most spectacular, and this was back before we had the passing games that we have today in college football, but Andre Rison in the Gator Bowl and Vince Dooley's last game.
Oh, yeah.
Georgia did win the game.
Yes.
But one of the great games that I had a pleasure to work, I was working on the radio crew, but it is just Andre Rison. To that point, I'd never quite seen a player quite like that in college football.
Yep.
Full start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Replay 4th down.
All right, so 4th and 9 now.
Yep.
And if you're thinking these last few minutes have really slowed down, you're right. It's not your imagination.
Listen, I've got to get Ken under control. I'm going to text him and say, listen, pipe down here.
4th and 9. Hall steps up in the pocket, looking downfield, dancing around back there. Hit as he throws. It's incomplete. Ball goes over on downs to the National.
Flag down.
And a flag down.
That might be a late hit.
I'd have to see that again to make that. I didn't think it was a late hit in live time.
Personal foul, late hit on the defense.
Okay.
It's a 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
Wow. Get bailed out right there on a late hit.
We know the overtime rules.
Don't say that.
I can tell you from I.J. Rosenberg, the overtime rules is it's a draw.
So they get the 1st down on the 15-yard mark-off.
See the look of his helmet. See the cushion in the area. See the give. Those are the new technology helmets. Rydell. That's a lot different Rydell than I played in. I can assure you that.
Where you snap the padding in?
My thing was straight concrete. Weighed about 70 pounds like a boat anchor.
So the ball's going to be put down at the 39-yard line. 1st and 10. Clock's at 1:52. American trying to put together a last-minute rally and win this game. Handoff goes to Elder. He can't shuck the tackle.
Look at here.
And there he is
there
again.
He is. Look
Jeremy
at him.
Johnson.
Yes, sir. Look at him. He said, keep talking. Somewhere Dave Hunter is smiling as well.
Jeremy Johnson going beast mode in this game today.
He has.
2nd down and 12. Another TFL for that National defense. Clock still running. We're at 1:23. Hall, there's a heavy rush. Gets rid of it in time and nearly intercepted back there on the 12-yard line.
Yep.
Heavy rush coming off the edge, and they're going to have another late hit.
That's going to be targeting as well.
That was TZ Evans coming off the edge.
Personal foul, defensive player on the defense. That's a 15-yard penalty. First down.
Yep, that was.
So,
yeah,
there's the penalty right there.
He launched.
I will say in the defensive player.
The previous play is under review.
I believe that was Joe Wilkinson from Rome, defensive back wearing number 14. That's a very tough play for the defensive player because he's already started to make his defensive move. Is it 44 or 14?
I believe that's 44. Yeah, it's 44.
Say 44, pardon me, JT Hornick from Hebron Christian, whose teammate is the quarterback for the other team.
Yeah, that's, in my opinion, he launches right there into a defenseless player. And I know that's so hard, but you got to throttle that down.
The play's been overturned, no flag.
Okay. And maybe the only reason he didn't is because he hit him in the chest.
Yeah.
So I'm not the referee expert here. I know he launched himself, but he hit him in the chest.
I think that's such a bang-bang play.
Yep.
That from the defender's standpoint, we're looking at it in slow motion.
That's right.
And we're breaking it down in slow motion. He doesn't have that luxury. He's making his defensive move. Last thing he saw was the ball was coming to the wide receiver.
Yep.
And he's making a move to try to tackle the guy. He doesn't see that the ball has gotten by the receiver, or certainly can't react quick enough to throttle down.
And at least in this setting, we were able to get a look. Are they going to challenge that? I can take timeout. So they're saying it's third. They're saying it's third down, is what he wants to count.
So the yard marker says fourth down.
I don't know. They are.
Let's see here. I'm trying to go back. So Gavin Hall's pass incompletion penalty, personal foul 15 yards. That's a first down. So Elder ran second down. Gavin Hall passed to Camden Smith incomplete. That's third down.
Do we have the kicker on the? You know who the kicker is for the American?
Yes, Ethan Bird from Savannah Christian.
That's him.
6 of 7 in his career with a long of 36. So third down and long. Gavin Hall going to wind up and throw it, and it is
dropped.
Incomplete, and now it is going to be fourth down.
Here we go.
Kendrick McWilliams, who had a nice catch on the sideline earlier in the quarter, could not come up with that one. So here you go, fourth down and 12, maybe the last chance for the American team.
Cannot blitz, so the 4-down linemen, they're going to call timeout. I'll tell you this about Gavin Hall. Every play he makes you play defense because he can hurt you with his legs, can throw the ball over your head. He keeps it alive till the end for sure.
And time now to take a look at the play of the game. It is presented by Smart Local 85. And here is the touchdown run by Cam Robinson. Cam Robinson. 7 carries, 16 yards. Touchdown run. 6 catches for 110 for the Mill Creek Star. Close to 130 yards of total offense for him today.
So I had two different texts. We'll get the name right. Stacy Evans is from Rome, and she is the founder of Chicken Salad Chick.
Thank you, Stacy.
Want to make sure we get that right.
So here you go, 4th down and 12. Hall scrambling to his right, throwing on the run. Deep ball, got a man open, and it is a touchdown.
Oh, my goodness. What a ball.
Isiah Canion
got a flag down
on the receiving end of this touchdown. Gavin Hall on the scramble and the catch by Canion, who got behind the defense.
What a throw.
Amazing play by Hall and Canion together. And it's 13-10 with 1 minute remaining.
We're going to pick the flag up.
Flag is waved.
Fourth and 12.
How about that? A great play by Gavin Hall to keep that play alive on 4th and 12. There was a heavy rush. Was able to run out of the pocket and delivered the touchdown strike to Canion. And the PAT is good. That's important.
Yes, it is.
Makes it 14-10. Needs the national. Needs a touchdown to win the game.
Now,
here's your Breda Pest Management scoring summary. 12 plays, 71 yards, 519. Canion with the 41-yard touchdown catch.
That was the longest drive in the history of Barron Stadium, it felt like. Penalties, turnovers, two different replays.
Yes, it was a 7-minute drive on the clock. It was a 28-minute drive in actual time.
See the coaching staff there from Cherokee Bluff. See Coach Jones there. Those guys sitting up there. A lot of coaches here watching their young men play.
Absolutely.
This is when you would have liked to have a live ball kicked to Sokovie White.
Yes. And we understand why you don't have it in this situation. It's such a high-volume injury play.
Yep. Not going to create any extra plays.
I mean, it's hard to take. Now, one thing you could do, I mean, since y'all are all about creating wrinkles for this game, let's put a little spice in the kick. Make sure offensive linemen have to be back there. They have to be a 50, 60, or 70 like they are.
Yep.
But it's not necessary. It's not a rule right now. And they have to catch it. If they don't catch it, it's the difference between getting the ball at the 30 or the 20.
All right, let me give you a rule. So it's 14-10. You realize a field goal over 40 is 4 points.
We still have that?
Yes, we do.
I've never seen it happen.
I've seen it once. So this game is not touchdown or only.
I mean, do we have red, white, and blue footballs? Is this like the ABA or something?
Hey, you got to create a little bit of excitement.
Sokovie White with the catch. The National is down to one timeout.
They call timeout?
The American has one timeout.
Oh, I think they're getting the clocks together.
But how do you like my wrinkle? You say the offensive linemen have to catch the ball.
I like it.
They catch it in the air.
Ineligible receiver, downfield.
Covered up.
On the offense, 5-yard penalty, replay first down.
So it's the difference between the 30 and the 20 where you start.
I like it.
Put a little
pressure on those guys.
Put a little pressure on these guys instead of just making it a fun thing.
Yeah, well, they are catching on national TV here.
And they can't let it hit.
Boy, there'll be some big guys tracking the ball. Here we go. 49 seconds left.
Jenkins in there at quarterback, going to fire it to the outside and going to dropped at the 32-yard line. Not much of a gain right there. Clock continues to run. They got to move fast.
Ken saving his one last time out. Got to get on the ball. 2nd and 7, 2nd and 8. Clock running.
Jenkins, pockets, collapsing, going to throw it out of bounds.
Okay, stops it. Got to pick up probably 30, 35, maybe 25 to have a chance to get it to the end zone.
Well, Cole Snyder is the kicker for the national team. He's out of Southeast Bullock. And how about that? If he gets a chance, well, the field goal doesn't matter anymore.
Yes.
Yeah, the field goal.
Well, let's
you got,
four.
yeah, you got me stuck on that 4-point field goal thing.
We got a chance.
Well, put it this way. If he lines up to try it, he'll be trying to kick it against his coach, who's the coach on the other side.
That'd be a long 4.5-hour ride home for him.
So 3rd and 8, clock is now at 18 seconds to go. Jenkins fires, and it's dropped. Jacoby White on the move. He might have been able to go if he catch that thing in stride.
I like the play call. Getting the ball to him in space, moving. A little clear out route in front of him. Nice throw, just drops it there. I know he wants that one back.
So now it's going to be 4th down. So not only is the clock against you, the downs are against you now.
Yep.
It's 4th and 8. You got to get a first down to keep things going, but you only have 13 seconds anyway.
Yep.
So I think you probably try to take advantage of that a little bit with the deep drops here by the DBs. Get yourself the first down.
Yeah, could.
You do have one timeout remaining or running out. Let's see what they do here. Jenkins going to wind up and throw it in the middle of the field, and it is caught at the 42-yard line, and a timeout is signaled. That is Carson Westbrook with another big catch. That is the 3rd catch of the game for Westbrook, and a big one right here with the game on the line.
Great ball. And him being injured right there. You want to know if you get the injury timeout.
Did they burn the timeout?
They did.
So 9 seconds.
They burned it quick. It's okay, 9 seconds to go.
Well, this right now is a 56-yard field goal, and I think that's probably a little bit out of his range.
Now, we went over this rule in the coaches' meeting.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Ken is aware, but there is a 4-point attempt here. We did go over this rule, though. It's over 40.
Yeah, I'm guessing that they're just going to try to Hail Mary this ball into the end zone, figuring that's probably a better shot.
I mean, if
it's over 50.
If you throw a 10-yard out right here.
If you throw a 10-yard out, where are you throwing it to? You don't have any more timeouts.
We'll get out of bounds.
Yeah.
40. You got to get out of bounds.
Yeah, you got to get out of bounds. Well, if you throw it in the middle of the field, you'll never be able to get up there and spike it in time.
They go 3-by-1. Got Jacoby here at the top of the screen.
Jenkins going to step up in the pocket. He's going to go down, and that's going to do it. It's going to be recovered by the American, who are going to win it 14-10.
What a game.
And the ball recovered on the final play of the game by Beckett Singleton out of Creekview. 14-10 the final. Rusty, it's been a pleasure. Look forward to listening to you call that
man.
last
Enjoyed
game.
it, Matt. We'll be back to Corky Kell before you know it.
More football coming. That's going to do it for me today. Enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Sophomores and freshmen, the next game up.